And what is the deal, man? What is going on? What is happening with my Raider family, man? You are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. And as you can see, we have a very, very special guest in the building today. As y'all know, man, we provide that heat every time we go ahead and touch the screen. So today, we have a very special guest, and we're going to be breaking down last week's game, some of the thoughts, man, wrapping that up. And of course, y'all already know, man, it's Wednesday, so we got to go ahead and start looking forward to week 2, how we can beat these. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to get demonetized already, but the bees in powder blue. Y'all already know where I'm at. But anyway, man, let's go ahead. Let's start this thing up. Y'all know what it is. Make sure you're hitting them buttons. Let's start this funky music and let's get the show cracked. What's the deal, funky people? Man, what is going on? Like I said, you're back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. And before we get started with all that good stuff, the good talk, football about last week, about next week, let's go ahead with your regularly scheduled programming, man. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap on that like button, right? Tap on the like button, tap on the subscribe button if you're feeling what you're hearing, right? You know what I say. We don't have to always agree, but if we can have good conversation, that's all that matters, man. So make sure you guys tapping on them buttons. And why is that, right? Y'all already know, man. Once we hit that 3K here on the page, we giving away QB1's jersey, man. And like I said, the way he played last week, the way I think Geno gonna continue to play throughout the season, go ahead, grab you a free Geno jersey, man. Y'all know what it is. So make sure you guys are tapping in with your guy. Share it out. Tell a friend to tell another friend. Come join us here on the Rundown, the thing with they real Raider talk, man. So you already know what time it is. Appreciate everybody for tapping in as usual, man. Before we get started, man, we have some people in the building already, and y'all know what it is, whether it's 330, 300, don't matter, man. We always got to give a shout out to the family that's in here. So real quick, we're going to start the show off with something very familiar. Y'all know what it is. We call it Gotta go ahead and get that roll call in, man. Y'all know what it is, man. So we give a shout out to all my peoples that's up in the chat, man. All the family that's always tapping in. Of course, my guy DJ in the building, man. What's going on, Big DJ? Appreciate you for being here, man. SA, Big Dog in the building, man. Appreciate you for being here. And DJ said, look, hey, that Raiders intro is top tier. That's love, bro. That's love. I put blood, sweat, and tears into that. So everybody that know, I had mad other players on that intro, so that definitely had to get changed, bro. But appreciate you. Gilbert in the building, man, with the Raiders. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you for being here, man. L11, as always, man. The family in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Rosetown in the building. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you for being here. War Ready 50. First time I'm seeing you, brother. But if you're from Mitch's side of town, appreciate you for coming over here, messing with us on the rundown, man. Appreciate it, man. But y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all see the title, of course, man. Everybody that saw it on Twitter, y'all know what time it is, man. Our guest that we are going to be bringing onto the stage, man. Y'all know this, man. He gives you pretty much Raider content daily, right? One of the main people. If you're talking about this Raider content creator stuff, man, he is one of the main people you got to bring up, man. He is one of the very first people you will probably bring up as well, man. But at the same time, we appreciate him for tapping in with us today, man, and giving his insight, man. Not the first time he's been on here. Hopefully not the last, but definitely, man, we appreciate him. The one, the only, Mitchell Renz in the building, man. What's going on with you, big dog?
What's up, Rundown? Appreciate you hitting me up, man. Excited to be here. Anytime you get a Raiders win, it's amazing how much easier it is to go to work, how much easier it is to talk about this football team. And, I know there was always like, what is Pete Carroll going to look like? What is it going to look like week 1 against the Patriots? And it wasn't pretty, but good teams find ways to win, I think, ugly football games. And, just to see kind of like the nation rallying together this entire week, it's been a beautiful thing. But like you said, it's Wednesday. It's time to move on. Now we got business that's got to be taken care of against the Chargers on Monday night. And dude, I can't wait. Home opener, Monday Night Football. It's going to be electric.
Yeah, and I know, I would ask if you were going to the game, but I know you're going to be doing your thing on live. But hey, the nation needs that, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Some people can't go to the game. Some people can't even watch the game. So what you do is very important for that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to try to figure out ways to at least get out there for a few weekends, tailgate, have a good time, do that type of thing. The one week I definitely want to get out there is the Cowboys week because my wife, she's a big Cowboys fan. So I want to be able to do something like that. But yeah, it is what it is.
There's going to be a bet in the household now. Tell me there's got to be a bet in the household on that week.
Dude, you already know. I don't know what it's going to be. If it's the bet that I would want, I don't know if I could say it, but if it's the bet you would want,
I know what you mean, though. I know what you're
talking about cleaning here. We're talking about cleaning here. Yeah.
You put it perfect, Mitch. I mean, we're moving on to next week, but I want to get your thoughts on last week because I think everything you said was perfect. It was not pretty. I mean, I don't do the in-game lives or things of that nature, the watch parties, because my emotions are all over the place, right? My emotions are that first half, Mitch. They wouldn't want to hear no content from me because I was angry. I was very angry that first half at certain things. Not all the way, because then again, you look, it's like it's only 10 points, right? So it wasn't crazy, but give us your synopsis. Let's go ahead. We can start with the defense because I think that's where most of the positive comes from, right? Like, I mean,
give me 1 second. I don't know if you heard that. But Chuck just tried to rip my computer out.
Hey, Trey, I got a dog myself, bro. So I got two actually. So yeah, you good. Do your thing. But while you go ahead and do that, man, Milky Beezy in the chat, man. Appreciate you for being here.
No, we're good.
But yeah, on the defense, man.
To me, what was the question? I'm sorry.
All good. The defense gave up 13 points. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
I can't hear you.
Tell me if I'm tripping. Let me know. Can y'all hear me? Am I tripping? Chat, let me know. Can you hear me? One.
Sorry, y'all. Did he rip out my mic?
Chat, can you hear
guys
me?
Hear me now or no?
I can hear you for sure. We good.
See, I can't hear you.
Okay, let me know.
Just another DJ says he hears me.
Okay, for sure. Say less. Hey,
I'm sorry.
All good. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. But till then, man,
I can't hear you now. You want to call me back?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. But till we get Mitch figured out, y'all already know what it is, man. We'll continue it on. But y'all know, man, we talked about last week. I mean, we talked about it ad nauseum, right? We talked about it ad nauseum for last week. We played pretty well, right, defensively, and 13 points is some things to really. All right, we're nitpicking at the end of the day. It's 13 points, right? You look around the league. We could have been the Ravens. We could have been the Bills, right? I mean, giving up them 40 points. First of all, if we would have gave up 40 points to the Patriots, I mean, come on now. I mean, season's cooked already. Let's be real. If we're giving up 40 points to the Patriots, but look good, right? I mean, we did what we were supposed to do against a Drake May led team. But the problems that I saw, we can't take into Monday, right? We can't take into Monday. Okay, SA said he could hear both. Yeah, that's what it is, bro. We couldn't hear each other. So y'all can hear us just fine, but we can't hear each other. So that's gonna pose a problem for sure. But we will get it right. Don't worry. I see him in the background. We working. So we'll get it in. But as we continue to figure that out, like I said, man, there's some things we did. Okay, there we go. I see it. We back.
All right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
All right, we're good. Sorry, I think Chuck kicked something. I think you guys heard it all. I don't know. He kicked something out, so that's on me. That's on my dog.
I already know what time it is, man. I got two dogs myself. But we were talking about the defense, right? Starting with them, because I feel like that's where, we can start with the positives. They gave up 13 points, right? They only gave up 13 points against the Drake May-led offense, which is what you're supposed to do. What did you feel about the defense that you could come away with some positivity?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, good coach teams find ways to make adjustments, and I was really proud that there was a moment in that game where Pete Carroll, he goes over to Patrick Graham, and I don't know what was said, but he kind of like says something to him, and then after that little conversation they had, PG started to bring the pressure a lot more, and early on in that game, I felt like they were trying to bring pressure with just 4, maybe 5 guys, and they just really weren't getting home. New England did a good job double teaming Max from time to time. And, that we just couldn't get a lot of momentum going. And McDaniels' offense is predicated on getting the ball out quickly. It's kind of like death by 1,000 paper cuts, if you will. Yep. And for the Raiders, that first half we were sitting there, great first touchdown drive by Geno. The defense did a phenomenal job holding up. I mean, here I am ripping apart the secondary, cornerbacks, free safeties, strong safeties, every opportunity that I get. But at the end of the day, they did make plays. In that second half, though, to me, the biggest difference was we brought pressure. We made Drake May uncomfortable. And shout out to Kai Blue Kelly. That phantom PI call is an absolute joke that he had. And to me, he looks like he's a hell of a football player right now. Eric Stokes got probably had the toughest assignment in Stephon Diggs, but Diggs didn't really do anything that really, truly, truly hurt us. But, to me, if you would have told me that we would have won that week 1 game, scoring 20 points, and Ashton Genty would have averaged 2.0 yards per carry on 19 carries, and we win with 20 points, I would have probably laughed at you. So, they got it done. And to me, and I've just kept saying it over and over and over again because I didn't want to overanalyze it. It's just good teams find ways to win ugly games, especially on the road. And we won this game because of our defense. To me, that was the bigger reason why we won that game.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm right with you on the Blue Kelly thing because I was worried going into there about even him starting. This is really first start, I believe. So, I mean, he went in there and he did his thing. And if you're watching the start, I mean, the stats, right, you'll look and you'll say Butte, he had 106 yards. And you'd be like, well, how are you saying Blue Kelly played well? Most of that is because of what you're saying, where I get annoyed with this with PG, where he's always playing the corners like damn 15 yards back. You know what I mean? To start the game off. And it seems like we have to get into the rhythm of the game to finally say, okay, we got to play up. As soon as we started playing in their face, pressing, we looked better. But also to the credit, right? I mean, we had to bring pressure because we weren't just getting home with 4. It just wasn't happening. I know we wanted to, but it wasn't happening. But when we started finally getting in Drake May's face, that's when the mistakes came. That's when everything came. Now, I don't know. You've probably heard it, of course. You got your ear to the streets. There were some people saying that Max was quiet. Max didn't have a great game. Max didn't play well, this and that. Do you believe some of that as well? Do you believe he didn't have a good game? I don't know.
I think it's, did Max Crosby have a level of Max Crosby standard game? Maybe not, right? To me, when you pay somebody $35 million a year, when you make somebody the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, you expect elite. You expect the Max Crosby performance. And he did have a sack. He did have 2 tackles. He was able to generate some pressure. But at the same time, I do really think New England's number one thing that they were trying to take away was they were like, as long as 98 doesn't kill us, somebody else has got to beat us there. And it opened up, some lanes. Lelu ended up having a sack. Malcolm had a sack. Tyree had a sack. I mean, right now, the Raiders got 4 sacks, right? We're top 10 in the NFL in sacks for Christ. I don't know, the first time in probably since I've ever even been doing this show. So, sure, Max Crosby did struggle a little bit, but at the same time, if Steph Curry goes out there and he has, 16 points, but the Warriors end up scoring a bunch of points and they end up winning, but Curry's got some assists because I thought Thomas Booker played well. I thought Adam Butler did, okay, but guys like Jamal Adams stepped up. And I just think because of that extra concentration that went on Max Crosby, to me, if I gave him a grade, I'd probably give him a C grade. I thought it was an average Max Crosby game.
Yeah, pretty much. And honestly, I think he should have had 2 sacks, honestly, because that was a fumble with Drake.
I'll say the picture that Max posted on his Instagram,
that's a fumble.
The clearest day that I was literally are we about to have another tuck rule situation?
I don't understand how this is not seen.
I don't know how
it
didn't get reviewed. How did it not get reviewed? I was screaming at the top of my lungs on our live show, and I'm like, if it was not close,
man, if it was,
I don't know how you look at that. How do you look at that full speed and go, if you're oh, definitely not a fumble, you're Superman.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, luckily it wasn't, game altering or anything like that, like we're used to, because there'll be some time.
Oh, dude, FBI on Kai Blue. Oh, yeah. I literally was sitting there. I'm going, if you're a young cornerback out there, that's how you play defense. You turn your head around, you put your hand up, you deflect it because he hit the ball first. I was like, here we go. We're about to get into one of these freaking ref games, and it's going to be a talking point this week because I forget the ref's name that's doing the game this week.
I saw like we're 1-6 or something. Like I did see that. Yeah.
Now, again, I hate to break it to Raider fans out there, but we're a record with some refs is most refs probably not that good, So it's like, this is a different football team too. I mean, we got a head coach, we got a quarterback that gives us a shot to win every single week, and that's something we haven't had as a Raider fan since I can't hear Derek Carr. I don't know.
And then my pops, of course, he got me into this, and he's. And we'll talk about the offense in a minute, but he's adamant. Like, that's the best I've seen, an offense start, a quarterback start since Rich Gannon, and he's very adamant about that. Which,
great. And
I was alive, but I don't really remember Gannon. So you could probably speak to it more than I can, because I don't really remember Gannon, to be honest, like that. I mean, how do you feel about Geno's performance?
I don't remember the Gannon. I mean, at that time, I'm only 32 years old, so I don't really remember it that well. But to me, the Gannon-Geno comparison is one that I've made before, too, because Gannon's first year with the Raiders, 34 years old, journeyman quarterback. Nobody gave him a shot. Geno, 34 years old, journeyman, and, he's got those ties with Pete. After 3 years, ends up winning the MVP. But, Gannon kind of had that gunslinger mentality. And the reason why I was so fired up when we ended up, getting Chip Kelly and Geno, and it's why I made so many videos on him this offseason, is because you got an offensive coordinator that is kind of perfect for what Geno is really good at. And that's stretching the ball down the field. It is explosive plays. And, with Seattle, he just didn't really get as many opportunities to do it because the offensive line was so bad. Sure, the Raiders' run blocking O-line was bad, but passing, I thought they did more than an okay job. And they were able to move the football down the field. There's a reason why Geno had 20 passes completed, the most in the NFL. Josh Allen has 7. Like, there is a reason why Geno is number 1 in the NFL in yards per completion. It's because Chip wants to stretch the field, and he's going to stretch the field. It's the next part of the equation is we just got to get Genty going.
Yeah, and that'd be that. Now, just wrapping up the defense a little bit. Now, again, I understand when people were saying, "Oh, Max was quiet" and things of that nature, but then again, I thought he played the run well. And then I looked at some of the stats. If you saw it, every Travion Henderson run was away from Max Crosby's side. So, obviously, Josh McDaniels knew what he was doing. He wanted to account for that 100%. My concern, and I kind of want to get your take on this. Now, I know he showed up late. I get he showed up late. But my concern was that for like 3.5 quarters, Malcolm Kuntz was kind of quiet to me. And now I don't know if we could say his first game, like I get that, but then again, it's like I've expected him to have a little more success against Will Campbell than he did. Maybe because I'm going in with expectations saying, all right, it's time. You know what I mean? We're trying to get money this year. We're gonna start off well. But I was more necessarily disappointed in that performance than I was with Max. What do you feel about that?
I agree with that. Now, again, I don't hold Malcolm to the level that I hold Max, accountable for. It's very, very different. But there were some rumors. I'm not going to lie to you. I talked about it on my show that there were some people around the Raiders that were like, I don't know if Malcolm looks like the Malcolm that we were hoping that we were going to get with the $12 million.
Man.
And for somebody that I'm not nearly the athlete that Malcolm Kuntz is, but to me, when you tear your ACL, and I've been somebody that's torn my ACL, you got to, as the athlete, you kind of have to go through the mental process of you trust yourself. And, it's when you're just at that level, if you're thinking for a half a second, you're too late, you're too slow. And there were times, and there's still times where I think Malcolm, I don't know if he fully trusts it. And he's probably the only one that does truly know that. Will Campbell, I did like coming out of college, but I did think that there was opportunities for Malcolm to kind of like really take advantage of him. And I actually liked how they went with Tyree and Malcolm, kind of up against them because Tyree's got such the long arms and Will Campbell's got T-Rex arms. And Malcolm is so good at being able to like duck under it with speed. But, at the same exact time, I think it's really hard to judge that game because I talked to a few of the players and they were like, the field was shitty. And it's sloppy, it's wet. And when you're Malcolm, you need the speed. And for the Raiders this upcoming game on turf, I think that they are a team that's, actually built a little bit more for turf, quick surfaces. They got a lot of really good athletes. They got a lot of long, lanky guys. And that's kind of where, when you bring pressure with Patrick Graham, we have guys that are a little bit more physical, and I think they're allowed to be athletes a little bit more, and it forces the quarterback to make a read quicker, and our guys are athletic enough, hopefully, to come up and make a play. But for Malcolm, I'm trying to temper my expectations just because my eyes tell me one thing. My Raider heart wants another thing. And, I mean, if he ends up getting 6-7 sacks, that's a great year. He had a sack, this past game, but you can't only look at the sack.
Yeah, no, you can't. You gotta look at a whole entire game. And Mitch, you just said it right there. Now, I'm right with you. My eyes since preseason have told me one thing about Malcolm Koonce, and I've continuously said I'm gonna try to ignore it. Why? Because we need him to do what he needs to do, right? Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about Malcolm Koonce. He has to perform. And if he is not to the degree that which we need him to be, it's going to be tougher for us to get pressure on teams. And this is the thing. His game was so predicated on the quickness, right? I mean, when we saw him the last couple of weeks, he was quick out of that stance. It was so predicated. And now when you tear that ACL and you don't trust it, well, how long until, you trust it? And usually how long do people say? Players say like it takes a year, pretty much.
I think it depends. And it's just like, that's the problem with the ACL. Like, you got a guy like Adrian Peterson who's 6 months after it runs for, I don't even remember how many yards that he ran for it. Right. And Adrian Peterson's an alien. Like, there's just going to be certain guys that are going to bounce back quicker. It also depends on how bad the ACL is. Like, there's different severities of it. It's
right.
I don't know. To me though, I'm hoping Malcolm can kind of get it going a little bit. And, we always hear the thunder and lightning when it comes to running backs. I think the Raiders got a little thunder and lightning with Tyree and Malcolm. And I just hope that they interchange them. Tyree played, I think it was 38 snaps. Malcolm played 31 this past week. So Max played 71. I think you're just going to see Max is going to be out there. And then there's just going to be some rotation with the defensive tackles, and Malcolm and Tyree are going to keep rotating as well.
Got it. And then, okay, so now this brings me, we'll kind of, and then we'll touch on the offense a little bit, but just a quick question about next week, really, this week that we got coming up. Mm-hmm. I'm worried now, right? I'm worried because, right, we didn't see nothing from Will Campbell. And to me, I don't know if you agree, but Joe Alt is a step above Will Campbell, 100%. I think Joe Alt is like that. I hate to say it because he's on the Chargers, but he's like that. So if we're not, would we have to probably play some more Tyree against Joe Alt if we're not going to get something from Malcolm Koonce? Because at least the physicality can, can subside for that if Koonce isn't going to do anything. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's actually kind of similar to last week as well, where you got Will Campbell at left tackle, Morgan Moses at right tackle. And to me, I like Max on whoever the worst offensive lineman is. To me, it's kind of like, you're trying to put LeBron James on the worst defender. Let's go ISO. I'm going to score most of the time. So, that's kind of how I feel about this game. Rashawn Slater, Chargers' best offensive lineman, arguably right up there with Joe Alt. Obviously season-ending injury. So I'm going to go after his replacement, right? 100%. That's kind of where I'm going to attack, and I'm going to go after him with Max. And if I can always have fresh legs, Malcolm and Tyree going after Joe Alt, I don't mind that matchup. I'm not saying Max told me this. I want to be clear on that, but I do know for a fact that Max felt a certain way last season when there was a lot of talk about Joe Alt shutting Max out. I think that he's going to bring it, and I think that Max is going to want some opportunities against Alt. Again, Max did not tell me that. I got a good source there. I just think that he's just going to bring his A game, and I think that this is going to be a much, much different Max Crosby. And again, the field conditions, I don't want to keep making excuses because I feel like I've been making a lot of excuses this week for certain guys, but I do feel like the field conditions played into I know it wasn't a snow game, but that field was bad. And multiple guys told me that the field was just really bad.
Yeah. And probably we don't even need Max to say anything, right? Because even if you didn't come on the show, Mitch, one of my topics was going to be, all last year, all Charger fans, everyone was saying, Joe Alt We have the Max Crosby stopper. It was going to be a topic today, guaranteed. Because
get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, because as a competitor, bro, you have to hear that. You know what I mean? You have to hear that. And obviously, when they draft somebody of that caliber, that's basically what they draft him to do anyway. They draft him to stop you. So I'm all on that. Now, shout out to the corners, like you said, my boy Palomal. That's been my guy ever since he hasn't started, man. He always gets his hand on the football, had another interception. I think he had a pretty good game. We can still build on some things. Chin, we can build on some things. I think we're trying that nickel experiment. I don't know how much we can try that with Chin going forward. I don't know.
I kind of wish. I almost feel like they're trying to do too much with Jeremy Chin, and I just want them to let him be what he is, right? Like exactly what they're doing with Jamal Adams. They're letting Jamal Adams be Jamal Adams. They're letting Devin White be an athlete, be Devin White, right? Like right now, I think they are asking Jeremy Chin to be Superman, where they're like, I need you to play strong safety. I need you to play linebacker to kind of replace Robert Spillane. I need you to line up in the nickel. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And, you know, it's a tough assignment for Jeremy to do, and he is one of our better defenders. I know he gave up the touchdown this past week, but at the same time, like I just look at this defense and, you know, sometimes I just feel like I got to bite my tongue, but I can't wrap my mind around the idea of either A, why can't we go out and get another corner? Not saying that Kai Blue and Stokes don't deserve to start.
A nickel, though, a slot, like something in there.
I mean, to me, though, like there's even a part of me that wonders, like, can you put Kai Blue Kelly in the nickel slot? And can you?
You're not the first person that's told me that either. You're not the first person.
And that's kind of like what he's done before. Now, he's done a great job on the outside. And when I say he's done a great job for what my expectation for Kai Blue Kelly was coming into the season. Again, he's a journeyman corner, got his first NFL start, Las Vegas native, and he went out there and had himself a hell of a game. But if you have Eric Stokes on one side, you have Kai Blue Kelly maybe in the nickel, because Darnay Holmes just can't be on the football field anymore. I'm kind of at the point where it's kind of like watching Cody Whitehair last year. I was like, you watch one game of it and you're like, I don't want to see it again, right? Like, I don't want to see my grandmother.
And God forbid we see him this week, man. Yeah, man. We
Darnay can't be out on the field. I would go out and try to get like a Stephon Gilmore, put him on one side of the field with Stokes, and then you let Kai Blue kind of enter out, like playing this nickel slot corner role. I mean, I like him again. He deserves to be out there, but they're trying to do too much shit right now, Jeremy Chin, and it's I just don't want them to ruin a really good player.
Yeah, and then see, this is the conversation. I think we had this conversation the last time you were even on my show.
Probably.
It's like, how come as fans we can see it and smell it a mile away? We're like, all right, like this is a problem. You know what I mean? We're in training camp, we're in all these, OTAs, and yet we just continuously go into the season and we still see this is a problem. We knew the nickel spot was going to be an issue. I mean, I like Blue Kelly. I feel like him playing slot would, one, go on, can he tackle consistently? And then two, how ready is Darian Porter? Like that would probably, and this is the thing. I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
And it's a very frustrating situation because Darian Porter, you remember year one of Ja'Cory, and Ja'Cory in year one got picked apart left and right. And I thought he did really good year two. For Porter, I think it speaks volumes that they're putting Kai Blue out there. Now he showed up week one, and I liked what I saw from the preseason as well from him. But to me, like Porter, you can't really put him in the nickel. He's just not. He's not quick enough. He's more fast than he is quick, I think is the best way to put it. And again, he's only been playing corner in college for 1 year, and now he's in his second year in the NFL, second year technically playing corner. Like, he's just learning the position, and you can tell that he's one of my buddies. One of my buddies basically was like, he's this unbelievably athletic player that you just don't know what you're going to get out of him. And he literally was like, he kind of reminds me of Ben Simmons from the NBA, where there's no doubt that everybody knows that he's talented. It's just, is he going to be able to put it together to get the most out of him? And you're going to see glimpses of Porter. And, training camp, there were glimpses where you're like, holy shit, like nobody else is making that play. Yeah. And then there's other ones where you're like, oh boy, that was a really rough rep. And I think it just speaks volumes because Pete likes his long, lanky, athletic corners, and for him to take him in the third round and for him to basically bench him for Kai Blue Kelly, again, I just think it speaks volumes of how much better Kai Blue Kelly has looked and the struggles that Darian has had. And I just don't think that they want to ruin his confidence.
I agree. Now, I was one of the people that did say, right, yeah, let him sink or swim, right? I was one of the people that said that. Now, like going into it though,
but if you see somebody drowning, don't you try to get them out?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like now, I've heard more conversation now, and I've kind of changed my tune on that because I do kind of understand, right? Like if we go week 1, we getting cooked by Boutte, right? Say if that was him, right? We getting cooked by Boutte. Now we got to go week 2. God forbid you get cooked by Quentin Johnston. Your level is all the way down. Now you're all because week 3, you definitely see an actual like receiver. You know what I mean? In week 3, I no disrespect to them guys, but Terry McLaurin is better than any of them dudes we about to see this week 2. I don't care about any of that. So then your confidence is definitely gonna be shot. It's gonna be over before it even starts. Now, that's where you give the shout outs to Jacorian Bennett because he came back that year 2 and he played well. So that was kind of where I was like, maybe he can do what Jacorian did, but then Jacorian had more time on task to the point. So we can't really do that. So I definitely agree with you there. But shout out to Dominique. Appreciate you for being here, man. Space Beast, of course, man. My boy Cheeto in the building, man. Milo Hunt, KFC, AFC. Real quick before we get into the offense, let me get, we're taking victory laps around here in the nation, right? KC the only team that ain't won. They ain't won. But I feel it's very soon to be taking a victory lap on them. I would wait for like maybe week 5 if they really suck.
I mean, to
how you
take
feel?
A victory lap on Kansas City, I think is just you don't get many opportunities to do it. Right. Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs have never lost 3 games in a row. I'll count Super Bowl week 1. I'll take any opportunities I can get some cool history stats against Kansas City. But at the same time, again, the eye test, that looked like the most beatable Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes Chiefs team that you could put out there on the planet. And don't get me wrong, Justin Herbert had himself a hell of a game. But if you're telling me Justin Herbert's winning games and making plays over Patrick Mahomes, that team's beatable. And they are. And I get it. They don't have Rashee Rice right now. They're going to be without Xavier Worthy, who just got that injury. Travis Kelce looks older.
He's done. He's
cooked,
done.
bro. I get it. He's getting married, and I don't blame him. Like, quite frankly, if my wife was a billionaire, Taylor Swift,
I'm done too. Yeah, you got them right.
Hanging it up.
You got them right. I'm done.
Believe me, I'll tell you this right now. If Alex, my wife, ever makes the amount of money that Taylor Swift does, I love interacting with the nation. I love it. But you're going to get way less videos from me. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to get way less videos. And but the Chiefs do honestly look beatable. And then you look at the Broncos. They have the best defense in this division.
They didn't look good though, to me.
Well,
I don't know.
Bo Nix, again, I'm not a Bo Nix believer. To me Bo Nix stinks. So then Bo Nix and the Broncos, do I think Bo Nix is good enough to win? I personally do not. Is their defense good enough to get that team to the playoffs? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Do I think that does Bo Nix scare me? No. And then you talk about the Chargers. I get it. I hear the Harbaugh talk. I hear the Justin Herbert talk. But Justin Herbert's got that, I call it, Raider fans might get mad at me for this, but that little bit of the Derek Carrism where Derek Carr doesn't scare me, right? And Justin Herbert doesn't scare me. He has all the talent in the world, and there are plays that he makes. You're like, man, that guy is incredible. But I think when the most important games are on the line, and he ended up winning the Chiefs game, got to give him credit where credit's due. But Justin Herbert doesn't strike fear in me when the game matters the most. And this AFC West looks more winnable than it ever has. And I think it's because we have a quarterback and a head coach that'll sit at that AFC West table, and they're like, we belong here.
Right, 100%. Now, okay, so we'll stay on this, and then we'll transition over to the offense and how does the offense do better against the Chargers. So we'll do what do we do against the Chargers defensively, right? So we'll take it in this prism. I've been saying this ever since the game ended on Sunday. I love that we held the Patriots to 13 points, but what we did in them first 3 quarters is not up to snuff on Monday. It's not going to be up to snuff. We need to start faster. Now I get, it's the first game. We ended up turning it on, but it needs to happen from first snap. Now I agree with you. In the pressurized moments, Justin Herbert don't scare me, right? I mean, he had Derek Carr grinning. So either way, like at that point, bro, we know what time it is. Like you done lost important games to Derek Carr and Trevor Lawrence. That's all that needs to be said. But in realistic though, what I will say is this: if we're not getting pressure on this man, I've seen him for the whole career. At this point, bro, he's gonna pick us the hell apart if we're not getting in his face. I mean, he's way talented enough to do that. I mean, we all know the case. And even on what was it, Thursday, using his legs a little more, right? Or Friday, right? Using his legs a little more. They're going to scheme it up to have him run. He's choosing to run a little more. What do you think our D-line needs to do, or what do we need to do to get him out of his rhythm? Because he can't just sit back there and do his taxes and make a sandwich and all the extra stuff. Like he has to feel it.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is where Harbaugh is. I just think one of the smartest coaches. He wins wherever he goes, right? Somebody said it. I just saw earlier in the chat, Dominique. But like what he did was he said, all right, we lost Rashawn Slater. We're going to get the ball out quickly. And that's what they did. They tried to get the ball out quickly. If I'm the Raiders, though, whatever we did in the second half against New England, I'm bringing pressure. And I know the Raiders brought pressure, and they actually, when you look at like based on NFL ranks pressure rate, we were in top 10, but that's a lot of second half, bringing that heat. And Harbaugh's still going to want to run the football. Murray and Hampton averaged 3.2 yards per carry, 15. I think it was 15 for 42. Like they're going to want to play a physical brand of football, and they're going to try to like really do that. I do wonder if they didn't run a lot because they were trying to stay away from Chris Jones. So maybe like that was their game plan. And again, it's week one. It's hard to decide. But to me, we got to be able to generate pressure, and we got to be physical because Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, those guys aren't physical receivers. They're not. Like I knew a buddy who played college football with Quentin Johnston, phenomenal athlete, but the word soft has been thrown around. Keenan Allen, really good, in that 5 to 10 intermediate route, but he's older now. If you get a little bit physical with him, he's just not as good. And same thing with McConkey. Like these guys, if you give them space, they're going to eat you alive, right? Like they're going to eat you alive. But if you generate pressure, you make Herbert make tough decisions. He's 1-7 in his career when he throws at least 2 interceptions. I get it. Probably most quarterbacks are bad when they throw multiple picks, but the number one thing for me when I look at Herbert is confidence, right? Like I think the best game you could have watched this past week is Monday Night Football. The way J.J. McCarthy looked in the first 3 quarters compared to the way he looked in the fourth quarter, the way Caleb Williams looked in that first quarter compared to the way he looked in the final 3 quarters, it's very Jekyll and Hyde. And that's what Herbert is. If you fluster him and you get to his confidence, he doesn't look good. If you let him be that dude, he is a top 5 talent-wise quarterback. Legs, like he has it. It's just up here. That's where he really, really gets flustered. And I want to be able to bring that heat. I want to be able to bring that pressure. And last week against Kansas City, the team fantasy points wise, there wasn't a team that had more fantasy points from the wide receiver position. I mean, 28 targets, 19 catches, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns were the the main wide receivers for the Chargers. And that's going to be a test for us. Like, because they're going to do a lot of work in the nickel. Ladd McConkey's a nickel specialist. Keenan Allen's a nickel specialist. And I just hope that our guys are ready for those matchups because that's where this game, I think, really could be made or broken, right? I mean, Chargers, they average 12.2 yards per play. That's 4th in the NFL. We got to play a clean football game. And
we
can't turn the ball over.
No turnovers. No turnovers.
But again, like, credit to Geno Smith, credit to our team, because when that interception happened for Geno, there was a part of me that wondered because all the momentum then went on New England's side. And I don't know if y'all remember that freaking Broncos game last year, the pick six.
Oh, yeah, it was over after that. It was over after that.
Not only the game, I really feel like that pick ruined our season. I mean, it was just like we got kicked in the nuts. We were down, and ever since that pick, it was kind of over. And I was concerned that was about to happen again, right? Because then New England goes down the field, they score, it's 10-7, and we're sitting here going, we have not done anything since that interception. And before that pick, I thought we were about to blow the doors off in New England. We were, humming on all cylinders. So, like, I have to trust this coaching staff, and I have to trust their ability to make adjustments because they proved it to me week 1 that they can make the adjustments. So I have the utmost confidence in Pete. I have the utmost confidence in Chip. I have the utmost confidence in Patrick Graham, and I think it's going to be a hell of a football game. I really do. I'm taking the over, smashing the over. I think it's going to be fireworks on Monday Night Football.
Me too. I was talking to my pops earlier. I feel it. I feel that, vintage Raiders Charger matchup. You know what I mean? We're back and forth, fireworks. I feel that. But I'm right with you, man. With Herbert, it's always been that little confidence thing with him. It's always the mentality with him because with the talent, it's undeniable. I mean, you'd be lying if you said he doesn't have the talent. Right. You're lying. But I feel that way about, 2 of the 3 quarterbacks in our division. You know what I mean? You get pressure on Herbert, he starts to act a little different. You get pressure on Knicks, he starts to act a little different. Only guy don't really affect him, kind of is Mahomes, really. And the only way you have to really get him is like doing what the Eagles and Tampa Bay did, and literally get after him. But with them, and the main thing, this is why I'm not too concerned about their passing game. Number one, I think those weapons over there don't truly scare me. Like Quentin Johnston, he had 2 touchdowns, but you're going to have to really prove to me that you've actually improved because I've already seen him some years. I'm not really scared of that. Keenan Allen, like you said, is older. He will do some things, but he's older. The only person I am actually truly scared of, and I'm going to be real with you, Mitch, I look at him like, when you get Kevin Durant or Steph Curry on the floor, they're going to get their 20-something points. I mean, it is what it is because there's nobody stopping. I feel that way about Ladd. I ain't going to lie to you. There is nobody on our squad right now that I'm confident that can cover this man.
I literally was talking to a Raider fan the other day about Ladd McConkey, and I said, if you took Hunter Renfrow and you took Brock Bowers and you made them, because again, Brock's much better than Ladd, Renfro's not as good as Ladd, and you met in the middle, it'd be Ladd McConkey. And I was like, he doesn't do anything sexy, but he's a hell of a route runner. He's going to run by you. He's a tough mother effer. Like, to me, the player that I am hoping Jack Besh kind of turns into, it's kind of like a Ladd McConkey.
Okay. And then we're going to talk
again,
definitely.
I still think that like where Besh is now compared to where McConkey was coming out, totally different. McConkey is light years better route runner, light years better at, playing football. I mean, let's just be honest, he is. But like, to me, you look at a guy like that can really manipulate people around him, and he's just a smart player. He finds the open zones, but in a phone booth, I just don't know if you're going to get a hand on him. And he's just got elite feet, and he's the troublesome one, right? Like, he's the guy where they're going to go to on 3rd down. I think if we try to do our best to take him away, make Keenan, make Quentin beat us, that's kind of the route that we got to go. But luckily, we have an offense that can hang up some points as well. And Jacoby's going to be out there. Brock will be out there. Michael's going to have probably a bigger role, I think, in this game upcoming. Genty's got to be it's just, to me, our offense and Geno were really flipping good. And I'll see if I can find this stat from a show that I did earlier. It was like, essentially, our offense we averaged, I think it was 10.5. Here we go. Raiders averaged 10.5 pass yards per attempt and rushed for less than 2.5 yards per carry in a win for the first time since 1993. And
wow.
Right. But I think like that shows how good Geno was. And if Geno's looking that good outdoors, because I probably talked about Geno outdoors more than anybody, Geno outdoors and those game elements, imagine if we could actually get our running game going. And to me, the number one matchup that I'm looking at, and I have them in a bunch of my prize picks.
Let me guess where you're going. Let me guess where you're going. Are you, because we just talked about running game. Are you going to go to the right tackle? Are you going over there to the right tackle and Khalil Mack?
Well, I was going to try to go more positive, but that's a matchup that's not positive. I mean, if there's one player that I don't know if he's getting nearly enough, I don't want to say shit, but like, I don't know what the right word is. DJ Glaze did not play well.
No. Trust me. We see
JPJ did not play well this past week. Jordan Meredith was, I guess, okay.
He's average.
Right?
He's average.
Parham was all right. Colton Miller was elite. That's just what you expect out of Colton. But like, to me, my favorite matchup this week for the Raiders, if I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to get Dante Thornton Jr.
There we go. Okay.
on Terheeb Still. He is the other starting corner for the Chargers. And he's 6'1". Their other guy's 6'3", but he's slower. And he's a corner that runs more like in the 4.5s area. So to me, I'm at least just trying to get Dante Thornton on him. And even if it doesn't hit, stretch the field, throw to him. And they obviously have confidence in him, right? Because for them to throw the ball in a 3rd and 20 situation to Dante Thornton Jr. And I actually think if Geno puts a better ball on him, Thornton roasted him on the route. And, he had to slow down a little bit, which forced the slide down catch. It's all good. It was basically the biggest play of the game. But for them to go to Dante Thornton in that moment, in that game, that amount of pressure, I think just shows how much confidence they have in him. And I think that this upcoming game for Dante, there's a few matchups with some of those Chargers corners that I think that we could really take advantage of. And if we get Thornton, even Trey on Still, I think it's a good matchup.
Now, let's stay on the offense before you get out of here, brother, because I know your time is limited. But we're talking about Geno, right? 362 in the rain, nonetheless, right? Because I didn't expect that at all. I wasn't expecting the game plan to be that. So I was very happy to see that. Now, we had Jacoby Myers get his 8 for 97, which I said after the game, you got to pay that man. You got, me personally, I feel like you got to raise something, right? Because what he's doing with no guarantee, I don't know if he has no guarantee money. I think that's what it is. But come on. Mitch, we all watch football long enough. Receivers that go over the middle the way he does, right? And he had one catch where I thought he actually got knocked out. I thought, they got him. And I was like, come on.
I saw some Raider fans saying, because I think he dropped 2 balls. I know he definitely dropped 1. But again, it's wet, it's rainy. Geno throws the ball a lot harder. So I'm like, is it a difference of Geno actually throws a real NFL football compared to he was catching footballs from Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell? And maybe people don't realize how big of a difference that is, but it's a huge difference, right? It's a guy throwing 100 compared to a pitcher throwing 92, right? It's a lot easier to hit. Yeah, so I do wonder if that's part of it, but there's a play that it rings in my mind of why I'm with you. Extend him more. I think if you give him a 1-year raise, and then if he hits the open market, I think the biggest reason why they're not doing it is because if he ends up hitting the open market and he ends up going somewhere else, they're going to get a 3rd, probably a 4th round comp pick because of that. So I think this organization just values the long term. But at the same time, I'm like, he's literally doing everything you're asking him to do. It's the definition of commitment to excellence. But
literally,
he just does so many things that don't show up in the box sheet. And I'm trying to remember when exactly the play was. But there was a 3rd down, and Jacoby's lined up on the outside. And one of the Patriots' corners is on him. And I didn't see what the corner did, but I remember talking about it in the game. And Jacoby looks at Geno and points at him and is like, points at Geno Smith. And then as soon as Geno calls hike, the corner blitzes. Geno hits Jacoby, 3rd down, 1st down, easy pickup. It's on the right side of the field. I can literally picture the play, but I can't.
Wow.
I don't remember when in the game it was. My
point is, though, how do you replace that?
It's just very, very minute details when if you're trying to preach, we want guys that go to war for this team, right? I was talking to somebody close to Lonnie Johnson, and I know Johnson was injured, but you know what, man? I want a guy that wants to get out there on the field so flipping bad. And sure, some people can say it's corny. Guess what? I'm a corny mother after myself, right? But I love that he had his helmet on. I love that he was repping his team, because there's a lot of guys in today's day and age, they're not going to do that. And I know how prideful I am as a Raiders fan, and I know how much the shield means to me. I just know how much it just means to me. And, call me crazy, but I expect the same out of our players. And to me, Jacoby just does that type of stuff. And if we're really, truly trying to build a team that personifies commitment to excellence, personifies playing for the team on your front and not the team on your back, I just don't know how you don't extend Jacoby. And then, I'll be honest, when I said this on my show, and, people can get mad at me if they want, but the Jacoby Myers trade request happened. A few hours later, Amari Cooper was signed. I'm telling you right now, there are players that were really pissed off about that.
As they should.
Because they're like, you're bringing in a dude that quit on this team. And Amari was on that team when certain players were quit on, and there were certain even like staff members. And when I say staff members, I'm talking about everybody that works in that facility, right? Like Amari Cooper quit on the Raiders, and he was not a very popular player. And then he showed up, obviously not in a lot of shape. And, like these are things that I hear. Obviously, I talk about it. I'm always going to give my honest opinion. And not every move is going to be the rah-rah move. There's going to be moves that I don't like that end up looking like they're going to work out. Jamal Adams looks freaking unbelievable right now.
Yeah.
But when you sign an Amari Cooper, when you don't extend Jacoby Myers, and then for Jacoby to handle it the way that he's done, it's guys just don't do that anymore. And today, I don't know, to me, it's you got a super loyal girl and you're just going to let her walk out the door. Like, I think you're going to regret that decision because
I don't. It's dumb to me. It's dumb to me.
Because then what are you going to do next year? Are you going to draft a receiver really high, or are you going to go out and sign a guy? Because I believe in Dante Thornton. I believe in Trey Tucker. I want to believe in Jack Bech that he's going to be able to take that next step, no doubt about it. I get we have Mayer. I get we have Brock Bowers, but you can't just let Jacoby Myers go out the door and not try to replace him.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Because you're talking about minute details, right? The blocking. I mean, everything he does and brings. I mean, come on now. I even feel like from a mentor standpoint, and I said this before. Now, look, personally, I was never a big Amari Cooper fan since the day we drafted him. I just was never a big Cooper fan. Again, any football player. I love him
out of Alabama.
Yeah. But then when you start to watch him here and you understand the mentality that he has,
he's
anybody. Yeah, bro. Let's be real, bro. He's soft as hell. You know what I mean? He's soft as hell. I remember when Stephon Gilmore took his ass out that game, that one time when he was in Dallas. I definitely remember that. I've never seen a receiver bounce back from that. You know what I mean? That shit right there is embarrassing in receiver land. So when we signed him, I was pissed too, because I know Spy Tech came out there and said it wasn't a correlation move, but the timing was very fishy. So
I'll say this, it was not a John Spy Tech move.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And maybe, maybe he was saying the right thing. He was saying the right thing, or how it wasn't a correlation
I
move.
promise you this, it was not a John Spy Tech move.
Well, then that makes me even more angry. That makes me even more angry, because it's like, well, shouldn't we allow him to have his say and say, well, yeah, no, I don't think this is right. But either way, we got to let them work that out behind the scenes. I just think as of right now, I think we should be paying this man. Don't allow him to go in the middle of the season doing what he's doing, and then we still haven't paid him. It just doesn't make any sense. With Thornton, I like where Thornton's at. Now, let's talk real quick before you get out of here. The main thing that everybody is concerned about, right? And that's that offensive line, right? Everybody is concerned about that offensive line. And, of course, from that, our 6th overall draft pick, right? Now, because I want to let you get your feelings out there. Now, me personally, I've always said, if we're going to draft him 6th overall, he has to be a focal point in some way, somehow, right? Like, okay, he's not running the ball well. He has 38 yards rushing, 2 point some average per carry. But through the whole draft process, we were told he is just as good as a receiver as he is as a running back. And not only that, we saw it in training camp. I saw it from my own eyes. So I was kind of disappointed that the staff did not get him a little more involved in the game, right? I think he needs to be more involved. And I also think there's some runs where he kind of, he didn't really take advantage of what was out there. I mean, you could tell, I think after the first couple carries, where it was a little easy after the first carries, but then it got hard. After that, he was like, okay, I'm just going to make my own hole. I'm just going to do what I got to do. You know what I mean? If I see something, I'll wait for the perfect hole to open up or whatever the case. I don't think, personally, I'm going to just put my feelings out there. I don't think we should be worried right now. It's week 1. It was, the offensive line has to gel, and it was mainly offensive line and coaching, I feel like, where he didn't really do what he was supposed to do. Is there a point where we do need to be worried, though, if he does not, let's say this week, it goes the same way, right? Like, is there a point we need to start asking, like, okay, well, what's going on here? I mean, how do you feel about this whole situation?
Yeah, there's always a point. And, I think like people got to look at it for the whole glass. And first you got to look at it from your Raiders goggles. If you're a 1st round pick, there's the fear that it's going to be another 1st round bust. And I know Brock was amazing, but there's just been so many 1st round busts that Genty's obviously going to be. looked at through a different lens. And, we mentioned it earlier, like sometimes I think us fans, we get frustrated because we could sit here and go, like, again, I'm not worried about Genty. Like, to me, I'm not worried about Ashton Genty. I looked at those first 3 runs, 3 carries, 22 yards, and you saw some good stuff in there. Like, to me, there was some good in there. The next 16 carries, they went for 16 yards, right? And the grass got really, like, banged out. Like, there was one play where somebody doesn't lay a block. I think it was one of the receivers on the outside. I think that would have sprung up a huge run. There was one run where he, like, slipped and fell in the backfield because the grass is really shitty. Like, that hurt him out quite a bit. I know we were talking earlier on Twitter today, but, like, to me, it was wet, soggy conditions in a one-possession game, and I really think he realized, man, I got nowhere to run. So I think for me, it's just really important for me to not fumble this football. And I agree with you where, to me, it's way more on the coaching staff because essentially what they were doing is they were daring us to throw the football. We were able to throw the football with Geno down the field, but they tried to take the running game away. And if that's what's going to happen, I like to call it running through the air, right? Let's do some screens. Like a great way to prevent a defense to just pinning their ears back and coming after you is set up a screen, throw it in the flat. And for as much as they worked on it this offseason, dude, they worked on it so much. So for it to not really be used, I was a little bit disappointed in that. And when they made Raheem Mostert an active, scratch, that screams to me that you're even more confident in Ashton Genty's ability. Zamir White, Dylan Laube, whatever, but Laube's special teams, Zamir's between the tackles, and in a game that's that rainy, I'm sorry. I mean, every time he touched the ball, it was like I had to hold my breath like I was going through a tunnel, like I was 10 years old again, right? Like, you're scared. But for Genty, for the way that whole game went about, my biggest knock on Chip Kelly in that game was the inability to run the football and the inability to run the ball through the air, because I get you want to establish the run, but I don't like just wasting plays, right? Like, I don't think it's smart. It's not smart for a pitcher in a 2-2 count to spike a curveball, but that's what they were doing, running the football at times, because you knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. And the Patriots knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. So, like, I was a little bit frustrated in that. To me, there's some good tape out there when he's pass blocking. There's also some tape out there that's not great, but I just don't think it comes down to the Genty. I think the frustration from Raider fans is we told you that you can draft the most talented running back in the world, but if you don't address the offensive line, it doesn't matter, right? And that's the frustrating part of it. Like, I don't want to Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants. I want Saquon Barkley from the Philadelphia Eagles. Same guy, super talented, but again, you just got to build that O-line. And the fact that Caleb Rogers, somebody that, I'll be real, I was not loving when the Raiders drafted him, he's a healthy scratch, and you went out and you signed Alex Kappa. To me, that was the plan to fix the offensive line. And sure, you put Meredith at center, but you had him the whole offseason to go get another guard or go get somebody else. And you didn't do it. And I don't know if y'all saw how well Ardman Membu played for that New York Jets team. Tackle.
Man, it made me mad, Mitch, because I came out here and said, of course I was a little emotional, but I said immediately, right, like, well, if we're going to just win games with Geno throwing for damn near 400 yards every game, we should have just drafted the tackle. At least we can protect the investment, which is Geno, because that's the way we got to win games. But
Geno's the most important player on our team.
Thank you.
You can't tell me otherwise.
Thank you.
I'm not saying he's the best player on our team.
No, but he's important. He's the most important, because without him, I mean, last year we lose that game. I mean, if this is the same game, we're losing this game last year. It's happening.
It's not even. I think even if, to me, there's no way in hell we're even. I think we lose that game by 2 touchdowns last season, and like even with McDaniels, I don't even care any head coach that's not Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. I don't know if they win that game, but to me, when I watched Genty run, and that was the number one thing that I wanted to watch, like, what do I see? And I just saw a running back, kind of like, it reminded me of like a quarterback. I don't know if y'all watched the Texans game. I watched it because of my guy Chugs.
Yeah, I didn't watch
CJ Stroud, when he called hike, it was instantly, he had no confidence in his offensive line, and it does, like, it impacts you. So, like, for Genty, he's getting the ball, and he had 44 yards after contact. I've been covering the NFL for a long time at Chat Sports. fantasy football. My family, we're celebrating our 20th year for our fantasy football league.
Oh,
like I've been doing this for a long time. Thank you, man. No, it's my first ever pick, Tiki Barber, true story.
Wow.
But like, I can't ever remember hearing a running back having more yards after contact than actual rushing yards. And
it's wild.
Like, it's, do we hold Genty to a higher standard? Absolutely. But at the same time, if the offensive line can't get it going, I'm nervous. Like, but this is a big week, and we got to be able to prove it this week.
And see, that's where the frustration is. That's where all my frustration came with the draft process. Now, I don't know. I think you weren't as high on it either, but I mean, he's here now, so it is what it is. But, it was more like, I don't want a Josh Jacobs 2.0 situation, right? Like, we know we have a good running back. We know it.
Yep.
But we can't take advantage of what he can do because the offensive line isn't good, right? Yep. And now we're wasting years off of his prime years because we got to figure out the offensive line. And see, that's what's going to get on my nerves if we don't get it figured out. Now, this week, going into it, I feel like it's time for us to get that ball, through the ground and really run through their face this week if we can. Now, but the thing is, that D-line is nothing to mess with. Their D-line, as far as the Chargers, is something formidable.
Through the air.
Yeah. And see, that's what frustrated me too, because it's like, Chip, you just came from college, dog. Like, you should know already, like, if we're not running the ball, I can find different ways to get my running back.
They didn't have that problem at Ohio State. Not with that
offense. Yeah, which is crazy. But, I mean, I saw him so many times get the ball to Judkins, get the ball to, Henderson through the air, especially Henderson, right? Like, I saw it multiple times last year. So, hoping this week that's what they can do, because the Chargers, I feel like they'll bring some pressure to us. But that defensive line, I think
he's just got to get confident. Like, running back, I think, is such a difficult position. I've talked to a few of the guys, not on the Raiders, just guys in general. And, it's like anything. Like, if you're not getting the reps that you need to get, and I'm sorry, getting the ball in your gut and having to break 2 tackles just to get back to the line of scrimmage, those aren't good reps, right? Like, if you were a hitter and every time you walked up to the plate, you were at an 0-2 count, you're not going to have a good batting average. You're not going to hit for a lot of home runs. You're not going to drive in a lot of, it's just not going to happen. And to me, right now, Ashton Genty's stepping up to the plate every time. He's got an 0-2 count. And that's tough, man. Like, it's tough. So,
it is. No, 100%, bro. I think, we just got to help him out.
Got to get him in space. If you get him in space, I think it's like a shooter. A shooter needs to see that ball go through. And when he sees the ball go through, it's like, look out. And I think that's what Genty needs. He just needs to see the ball go through.
Yeah. Now, one thing I was happy about, because this was I was worried about, because I study running backs. That's my thing. But I was worried about his pass blocking coming in, because at Boise, I don't know, either he didn't really pay attention to it or whatever the case, or but it dramatically improved. So I was very happy to see that, because I feel like without him and doing what he did as far as the blitz pickup, Geno's probably not getting that many yards through the ground. You know what I mean? I mean, through the air. I saw so many blitz pickups he had on Sunday. That was so beautiful. So without him, I give him that shout out, man. I don't think Geno has that big of a day if he doesn't do what he does.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Now, again, like, there's certain reps where I'm like, I wish he would have been able to get there. But again, like, they were bringing a lot of pressure. And again, I feel like I just make so many excuses for the grass, but I heard from multiple of the guys, they were like, if you were planted, people were pushing you because you didn't have the anchor to anchor yourself in and really push somebody back. So that's something that I heard from one of the Raiders offensive linemen. And a few of the times when I watched Genty, I feel like he braced for impact was the block instead of making the block, right? I think of it when you're trying to head a soccer ball. If you let that ball hit you, it's going to hurt. You go after it, it's not going to hurt nearly as much. So there were times like that, but I just feel like the narrative around Genty got way too crazy. I mean, I looked at PFF grade and he's got a 27 PFF blocking grade. I mean, again, I didn't think that he was amazing, but he still did a good enough job. And I've been hearing the yards per carry. I've been hearing everything. Chris Sims or whoever the other day was like, he didn't look good to me. I'm like, well, Chris, I don't know how you think. I mean, again, where do you want him to do, right? Justin Jefferson didn't look good in the first quarter either, with JJ McCarthy. But that's because JJ McCarthy couldn't throw a football, right? I think people
let's
go
be
with
honest with
narratives.
ourselves, though. Like, no rookie running back really shined to me. I mean, I don't really look around the league and be like, oh my God, I'm blown away. Everybody was talking about Henderson. You know, he didn't really have that good of a game against us. Hampton, I wasn't impressed by Hampton at all last Friday. I mean, he had a couple good runs, but up to this point, I haven't been super impressed. I mean, best
I
guy I've
mean,
seen
to
is
me,
RJ
he
Harvey.
made a really boneheaded run. I forget what run it was, and you're late in the game, you ran out of bounds, right? Like, that's the type of shit that's going to drive Harbaugh nuts. I guarantee you the first play Harbaugh showed Hampton was you ran out of bounds here in a really clutch situation against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Can't do
so
it.
I'm with you 100%. So to end this up, to wrap this all off, man, what do we need to do, man? Keys to victory on the offensive side for us to go ahead and pull this out.
Well, I'll be real. I actually haven't even done my keys to victory yet.
Oh, okay. I don't want to spoil your own show. I don't want to spoil your own show, but go ahead and give me a little bit if you can.
No, I'm saying I'll script it out tomorrow. I'll be live on the Raiders Report tomorrow. If anybody wants to hang out, watch a little Thursday night football. We had 126,000 people join us last week, so I would love to be able to get that many people again. It would be beautiful. To me, though, like,
man, you're gonna have a good one.
On offense, I want to run through the air with Ashton Genty. That's something that we got to do because the Chargers are going to bring pressure, and they're going to be able to, I think, get pressure with 4 or 5 with that defensive line that they have against our offensive line. So I'm going to say run through the air. Another key, I mentioned it earlier, let's go Dante Thornton Jr. Let's get him on Terheeb Still. I think that is a mismatch that we could take advantage of, really stretch the football down the field. My next key, let's go with on the defensive side of the football, it's going to be blitz, and it's just going to be I want to bring the pressure. I would rather lose with us being aggressive on defense than us just playing I call it the Patrick Graham prevent where we just it's just a dink. It's dinking and dunking and dinking and dunking. And I get it's a bend but don't break, but dude, it's just so frustrating sometimes to watch. And then when they make the correction, you're like, all right, like that's what we need to do. I'll go special teams got to be better. Daniel Carlson 2 for 3 last week. I get, they tried to rush that 59-yarder out there, but this is going to be a game that both teams are just so equally matched. Can't do that. I'll also challenge AJ Cole because if there's one player that you hold to that high of a pedigree, AJ Cole's the best punter on the planet, and he had 2 really bad touchbacks last week on 5 punts. Like, this is going to be a game where we got to be able to flip the field. We got to have better field position, and special teams is going to be something I'll look at. My last key to victory on the defensive side of the football, I feel like just saying corners, covering the receivers, but I'm going to go with our linebackers got to be able to stop the run again because I just feel like the way Pete and Harbaugh are, there's a part of me where I'm a little bit worried, putting money down on like Geno's passing yards, all this stuff, because I feel like these guys are going to be getting into like just a physical football game where Hampton's going to get 20 carries and Genty's going to get a bunch of looks. And to me, we got to be able to take advantage of that linebacker room because Denzel Perriman's out. He's their thumper. He's their middle guy. Now, Landon Roberts is our guy as well. But I'll say our linebackers got to be able to show that they can stop the run because if you make them one-dimensional, I know they were kind of one-dimensional last week against Kansas City, but I think if you make Jim Harbaugh one-dimensional after a long time, you'll be able to pick up on some of the stuff Herbert's going to do.
100%. And I'm right with you with all those, man. Stay out of that, like you said, that PG prevent. I like that. We got to continue that, Nation. That's real because he continuously does that because we talked about it. McConkey is great at finding those zones and doing all that. So if you do that, they're going to pick us apart 100%. So we got to bring pressure. Let's get it going through the ground, man. I'm with you. Let's get it going through the ground. Let's get that play action going because that's really when we're deadly. When we can get that play action going, get Thornton Tucker down the field, that's when we're really doing our stuff. So I'm excited for that, man. So you got any predictions? You got any score predictions, or do you wait for that later on in the week?
No, I gave my score prediction on, I guess, would have been Tuesday. I actually have Raiders 31, Chargers 30. Let's go with a freaking barn burner, high scoring football game. And it is, man. I think it's going to be, all the lights are going to be on. It's Allegiant Stadium. I know it's the second Monday Night Football game, but the last time I checked, it was like 87% Raider fans, 13% Charger fans. So I think this might be one of the closest You're never going to be able to replicate Oakland, but one of the closest Oakland field games of the Raiders are 1-0. You're going up against a team that you flip and hate. Geno looked great. I think Allegiant's going to be rocking. And I was talking to one of the guys earlier in the week, and I knew that he was excited of what the environment that they thought that they're going to get at Allegiant Stadium. So if you're going to that game, hope you're rowdy. Please be safe. Please be responsible. I mean, today was a wild day for everything going on in the world. And again, like I think at the end of the day, we got to remember that, let's all be nice to each other.
Today is fucking wild. I will say that. Now I'm with you. Like, it's going to be a nice little crowd, man. And it seems like every time we have this crowd, the Raiders don't, perform how we want to. It's like we always come. The nation always comes with the heat. And we always come with the rowdiness. I remember a couple years ago when we went with John Gruden, and it was that Lightning game. And I remember how many Raider fans were in SoFi, right? So now to hear 87% Raider fans, that's what you want to hear, right? I mean, it's time. Now 31-30, you're going to have me calling out of work the next day, Mitch. I'll be honest with you, because that's going to end late, and that's going to be such a rowdy game if that's the case, man. And we're used to it. Going against the Chargers all these years, man. So
believe me, if I could get another 63-21, I don't know if I've ever had so much fun. Now I'll tell you this, my liver hated me after that game, but you know what? For Raiders win, man, we'll do it. And I know how much I get mentally impacted by this roller coaster of a team, and it's sad to admit as a grown man, but it's the truth. And for me, like that Monday night game, that's going to be a late one. I probably won't get home until 3:00 in the morning. And guess what? You'll see me at Chat Sports 7 a.m. So it's
and hopefully it's a win. Hopefully it's a win. So then when you go back, right, it's like, okay, we're good. You know what I mean? We're good. So we're going to get ready to end this out. The way we end this out is something new, but just some, we call it this here. So getting ready to get this thing ended and finalized. We call it this. Man, the rundown, man. That's the end of the show. We basically wrap it all up. Rundown of it. We already talked about it, man. The keys to victory. We got to be physical. I mean, it's going to be one of those matchups we all talk about, man. It's Jim Harbaugh going against Pete Carroll again. It's a flexing match. We all gonna flex on each other. We're gonna see who's stronger, who got the bigger biceps, basically. So that's what we about to be doing on Monday, man. We got to come with our rocks in our pocket, right? And we both drafted first-round running backs. So, obviously, both of us, as far as teams, did not showcase those running backs properly as we wanted to. So, I would imagine, right, they on their side want to showcase their newly acquired running back against their division rival like we do. So, it's going to be real defensively. Yeah, we got to get in buddy face. We already know what time it is. But before we end on out of here, man, what you got planned for tomorrow? Of course, I know you got some content that's about to come out tomorrow. Anything you got planned for the rest of the week?
So for tomorrow, I will be making a bunch of videos to try to figure out what the heck I'm going to do over the weekend. But tomorrow, I will be live on the Raiders Report an hour before kickoff. Maybe it's technically like an hour 20 before kickoff, I guess. And I'll be real. Thursdays over on the Raiders Report I usually black the F out and I get my weekend going. So if you want to have some beers tomorrow, I'm going to be putting them down. We're going to be having a good time. Also on Sunday, I will be live for the Eagles and Chiefs game over on the Raiders Report. So make sure you guys pull up for that. And then Monday Night Football, hopefully Pete Carroll's 74th birthday gets a win. Right.
And so shout out to you, man. Tomorrow, I'm definitely gonna be pulling up into the chat, man. I know it's always a good time when I see you at doing your thing, and of course the chat be making you drink all those crazy drinks that be going on over there in the show. But either way, man, it's always a good time.
Tomorrow, it's a beer called Fat Tire, which I've had Fat Tire before. I like it, and basically the MVP of our show gets to pick what I drink, and we're going to try to figure out what's the toughest boot to do by the end of the season. So I did a Guinness boot last week, and that ruined my night. So we'll see.
Yeah, hey, you would know more of that than me. I don't really drink like that. Now we talking about some of that other stuff, the greenery. Now you got me. Now you got me. But definitely, I appreciate you for pulling up, my guy. I mean, 100%, man. I know you gave me a longer time than we said, but again, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Hey, I think at the end of the day, I like when Raider Nation rallies together. It's a great first week, and I saw a lot of good stuff amongst the nation. I think, us content creators, we do. We got to be able to stick together. And there's only a few people that I would do, I guess, what I did and today. And I think you're one of the people that always have my back. You always watch my show, and anytime that you hit me up that I'm free, I promise you, I'll be back. So I heard you say in the beginning of the show, I hope that he comes back. If you invite me, I'll be back.
Hey, it's love, man. I always say I have no shame in my game, man. I always say I was watching you before I started podcasting. You helped me wanted to do it. So again, I appreciate you for that. Appreciate you for pulling up. Everybody, y'all know the deal, man. Here on the rundown, you show love to our guests, right? Obviously, I know most of y'all are probably subscribed, but if you're not, show love over there, man. He's got news, he's got updates for you. He got everything you can need, man. So. And appreciate everybody that's pulling up. Make sure you show love to the guests. Hit the like, subscribe button here on the rundown as well, man. Trying to get to that 3K. But until then, man. Yeah.
3K.
Yeah.
What's a 3K? You're giving away a jersey?
I'm giving away a Geno jersey, man. And
how close are you?
Shit, I just hit the 2,700. So I'm about like 2 something away. I'm close. 2 something away.
So if you get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of Monday Night Football, I will join this show again in September.
Oh, shit. Hey, y'all hear it. Y'all, hey, make sure y'all sharing it out. We got to get to it. We got to get to it. So 3K, we need it. So appreciate everybody. And like I said, the way Geno's playing, come on now. Why wouldn't you want a jersey, man? Rock that out proudly. Again, make sure y'all pulling up. Y'all know the deal, man. We got shows Saturday, Good Morning Raiders, and all the extra. So y'all know the programming. Till then, y'all know what I say all the time, man. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown. Appreciate Mitch. As always, man, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Love y'all. Be safe. See y'all soon. Peace.